recently there has been an internet survey of non-native speakers of English. Non-native speakers of English were completing an internet survey about their favourite words. And I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. Let's see what... Here are some, just a few. There were tens of thousands of people entered the survey. Here are just a few. Friday annual holiday, yeah. Flabbergasted, the perfect word for feeling. Flabbergasted means...
Surprise.
Yes, it's what we call... I was talking with a group this morning. I've always called them absolute adjectives. But they said to call them extreme. So you have gradable adjectives, surprised, and absolute adjectives. A lot of adjectives have an absolute equivalent. So flabbergasted is what I would call an absolute adjective. Absolute meaning the strongest you can express. Yes? Like freezing, absolutely freezing. Absolutely flabbergasted. You cannot be more surprised than that. And in this survey, they actually monitored and came up with a ranking. I think they came up with the top 500 or the top 100. What do you think was the #1 favourite English word by non-native speakers of English?
Fine.
Fine. Top.
Nice.
Chocolate.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
No.
And what do you notice? Do you notice anything, a pattern or anything? Just words? The top 10.
Feelings. Emotions.
Yeah. Emotions, feelings. And what kind of emotion? What kind of feelings?
Positive.
Yeah, they're all very positive, very aspirational words, aren't they? How many adjectives? One. And all nouns. Quite interesting. I hadn't noticed that, somebody pointed that out. So they're all very aspirational words. And here are a few others that I quite liked. I think they published the top 100. I quite like these ones. Peekaboo. Peekaboo is a little game you play with children. Peekaboo. Yeah. In English we say peekaboo. Flabbergasted again, and then we went oi. 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 Oi, which can have a number of meanings, kind of, depending on the context, depending on how you say it. Yeah.
Wait for this, just I.
Yeah, well, it's not. Oi is to grab someone's attention. Obviously, it's very high context, very low distance. It can be a positive, not necessarily positive, it can be quite negative. Oi! Oi! You know, maybe someone's doing something they shouldn't be. So, yeah, it's just a way of grabbing someone's attention or whatever. Okay, so, one more thing. All about words. What are these words? As a group. Prepositions, the determiner in there. As a group of words. Okay, these are the 10 most used words in English. And the most used word in English?
Right. You. It's.
Anyway, it's one of these.
Oh, yes, of course.
And.
Okay, the. Basically, 7% of everything we say is the. Is that the right way of saying it?
Yeah. 20%.
No, 7. So that means, what's 7%? 1 in 13-ish? 1 in 13 words that we speak is the. It's by far the most common word in English. The second most common word is only 3.5%, so 1 in every 26. So the is twice as common as the next most common word, which is of.
Oh.
Yeah. The 20%, these words make up 20% of everything we say. So 1 in 5 of our words is one of these words. Okay?
I was talking about off because it doesn't sound, it's not a stress, so how do you recognize that you use it?
Which word?
Off. Because when you're speaking it doesn't sound, does it?
Well, when I said it then, I said of, because I was isolating the word.
Okay.
In natural speech, it would be schwa, wouldn't it? Yes. Yeah. The king of Siam. The champion was in the field. Yes, but I was emphasising the word in isolation. So I think I said of. I probably should have said of. Okay, so these words make up 20%, a fifth of everything we say, and the 200 most common words make up half of everything we say. So, putting it another way, your average educated native speaker has a vocabulary of about 20,000 words, of which they only use a small proportion on a daily basis. And as we can see here, this is actually 12. A quarter of everything we say will be made of these 12 words, or will include these 12 words. Then the next category, and the next category, and the next category, and then 19,750 words make up the other half. Okay. I hope you can hear there's some interesting words. I noticed jam. Jam is, would that be jam for breakfast or traffic jam? Probably depends where you live, I would imagine. Yes.
Jam.
Yes.
When you were saying that the average Englishman has a vocabulary of 20,000 words, do you mean the active or the passive vocabulary?
It's difficult. You could probably speak to a lot of people who are in the know about this. You could probably go on the internet and search, and you will find as many different answers as people you speak to. I think 20,000, they say, is the available vocabulary.
Okay.
It depends what you mean by active. If you mean by active, could I use it if I wanted to use it? Possibly. If by active you mean that I regularly do use, probably not.
Well, sometimes, you know a word because you read it.
Exactly.
But,
Yes.
you
Okay.
don't use it.
Fine. No, that's a good point. I mean, when we say you know a word, what do you mean? You can use it at will. You can recognise it, but you can only recognise and understand it in context. You can recognise and understand it out of context, in isolation, etc., etc. There's lots of degrees of knowing a word. Maybe you can do those, but like you don't know how to spell it. So you don't completely know the word. Can you pronounce it? So, yes, but by active vocabulary, I suppose, you can use it. I think that's generally when we say active vocabulary, it's words you can use. But that's a good point, yes. Okay, so a few quotes. Let's move on to this words have grammar. All about words today, starting with the word. Would you just like to read those for a couple of minutes? Okay. So these are sort of the thinking behind the thinking. Foundation of what we're going to be discussing today. The middle one, when you use a word, you are obliged to choose from the particular grammar patterns associated with that word. Words have grammar. There's only certain things you can do with the word. Okay, the word dictates what grammar you can use, what collocations you can use, and so on. Some is very limited. With other words, it's far more wide-ranging. The key thing here, I think, with the classroom application. Learners would do well to learn the common words of the language very thoroughly because they carry the main patterns of the language. So if we have said, 200 words carry are 50% of what we say, those 200 words must carry 50% of the grammar of the language. Okay. So let's look at one of these words, going. Okay. So what we're going to look at is looking at the grammar that the word offers. Starting with the word and seeing what grammar comes out of that word. Okay, relative to those quotes, see what grammar we are obliged to use. Instead of here's the grammar pattern, let's fit words into it. Let's start with the word and let's see what grammar comes out of it. Okay, so that's the sort of the theme of today, if you like. So, back in your pairs, your little groups of 3, what do learners of English need to know about going? Meaning, collocations, how we use it. Yeah, a student comes up to you and says, what does going mean? How do we use it? What would you say? Okay. Yeah. Off you go.